says Tara, and Tiger Tara roars away from them on the home turn. Here comes another big boil over. Equine athleticism at its best. The Star with a capital S. It's going to be a triple treat, a miracle three-peat. Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed history here at Menangle. What about that? It's getting right up on the sprint lane and it's going to bolt in.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Sprint Lane Podcast. Paul Cochran with you, Jess Watkins, Freddie Hastings. Morning, guys.
Hey, Paul. Hey,
Morning,
Fred.
Jess and Paul. Yeah, another week rolls around.
Yeah, we're live, of course, from Tape Court Park Menangle. Big day of racing. A little bit of an earlier start today. So 12:48 is the first race. So
Which will have an impact on
has
fantasy.
an impact on fantasy harness racing, absolutely. So that lockout moves to 12:30. So I hope you got your trades done.
Not yet,
I
but
have.
fingers crossed I'll have
If
time
not, you've
between
got a
this
very,
and the show.
very short window after the show, Jess, to get in and get involved. Hey, the opener. There's a little bit of the opener has got a little bit of Bathurst from last year. Maybe it needs a freshen up because we've just had another edition.
We have indeed.
I
I think
yeah.
it's one of Ricky Alchin's
Might have
winners
been
from last year.
Might have been Tardelli.
It's either Tardelli or Soho Rhapsody. There's a little clip of it, in the opener of the show. So, yeah, maybe it's time for a freshen up.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Excellent idea.
Because we had
Paul.
another.
We'll get our big production team, our big production crew that we have that works on the sprint lane, and our researchers to delve into the archives to get some new material.
We had another sensational episode of the Gold Crown Carnival,
Oh,
didn't
how
we, Fred?
good.
You and I were very
Incredible.
fortunate to be there, just tuning in from home. It was a wonderful night of racing.
It really was. And credit has to be given to the track team out there because that rain and that storm we got about an hour and a half before the first, the rain, the volume of water that fell on that track, it was akin, and Jess, you weren't at Bathurst, but you were here on Chariots night. The veracity of the storm and the lightning and the torrential rain, it was almost akin to that night.
That one last year.
It
wasn't
was
it?
incredible. And yet they inspected the track, they tested the gate, the stewards were happy, and the rest is history. We ran 10 races, and by gee, it was exciting.
It was
racing.
brilliant, yeah. Got a bit fresh there, I must admit. I was sitting there hosting the Sky Racing Active coverage with Amanda Rando, and tell you what,
Us city slickers.
Yeah.
I didn't pack for Bathurst in March.
The video that you posted up on Twitter, I thought, they have to be in doubt here. Will
Well-
they be able to get through the meeting? And then, lo
Well, that
and
was the
behold,
rain,
they
but
did.
it was the lightning, Jess. Like that was that was thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening. Mamma mia, that stuff.
Yeah.
It was. That's as good as I've seen. From an electrical storm up above us. That was, and where we were set up to do the Sky Racing Active coverage was in a tent or a marquee, sort of in between the parade ring and the clubhouse, and. You set up with all the bells and whistles for a broadcast with all the electrical gear and that. And a few of us said, see you later. We're not sitting there while this lightning is hanging around. But, yeah, it was a great night of racing. And you're right, Fred, well done to the track staff. But well done to those who had the foresight of building a track that can withstand that sort of stuff, when it was put together. Because, but by the end of the night, actually almost immediately, they were racing slick times.
Yep.
It was fair racing.
There was a line of thinking initially that you needed to be out wide, but then that myth was dispelled with a few front running wins and sprint lane wins, like Bainbridge got right up on the inside, for example, and a few others early on in the piece. So track, nothing wrong with it. Take a bow, the team there, Jason and the team, and who prepared the track. It was a ripper.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Winner, it's Amanda Turnbull. Amanda, congratulations. You're on the line.
Thank you. Yeah,
How's it feel?
no, it's very exciting.
How's it
exciting.
feel? I mean, you've had a couple of days to sort of let that sink in now, but I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago because you're going to represent New South Wales at the Australian Female Drivers Championship, and one of the questions I asked you, that they wanted to ask every driver was, what's your most memorable win? And you talked about a very recent one, which was Windy Hill Tara winning the Oaks here only a few weeks ago. It must mean, and we reflected on this in the coverage the other night, that winning a Group 1 on your home track that you just master week in, week out must be so special to you.
Yeah, that was awesome. Very special win, and it's good for those owners too, because they've been really good owners to us. So it's special to reward them as well.
Now, you said in your interview with BK on track straight away, you couldn't believe that Nathan gave up the drive. Nathan Jack gave up the drive on that he must have rocks in his head. Given how well the horse went, I reckon you might be onto something there.
Yeah, that's it. I drove him in track work for the week, and he said, "You're going to drive him." I was like, "No way, too much pressure." But yeah, he stuck to his word, and he put me on late, and yeah, he just had a theory and stuck to it, and yeah, it worked out.
It must have been really special to get that Group 1 win in front of your home crowd, Amanda. What were the roars of the crowd like as you headed up the straight to the winning post?
Yeah, I actually was driving him out pretty hard, so I sort of didn't concentrate as much on the crowd as you can, but you can definitely still hear them, and when you're coming back in, they get excited too, so it's a big thrill.
The dam, Queen of Pop, a horse, and Amanda, we spoke on Sunday after the Crown meeting, but Queen of Pop, the mare, the dam of Chart Topper, you actually drove in races, and you likened a lot of Chart Topper's behavioural aspects to be very similar to his mother.
Yeah, that's it, especially on looks. They're big, solid horses, and look more like thoroughbreds and standardbreds and beautiful horses to do anything with. So, yeah, she's bred that on, thank God. And, yeah, Just Hope was one and this feels another. So she's been a good mare to us.
And he's still learning the caper. It's pretty evident, but he's off to a flying start. How much improvement in terms of maturity and growth do you see in this horse?
Yeah, like on his track work, he is really good. And then sort of, we thought at the races, he sort of just didn't feel quite as good. So I think he's still got to just learn to take that to the racetrack. But then on Saturday night, he was real professional and just relaxed when I wanted him to, and took off when I wanted to. So yeah, he's just got to learn.
Interesting you asked about the crowd, Jess. From where I was sitting, and obviously we were slightly back from the track. Freddie had a better view of the track from where I was. We could see it on a screen, but what we could hear was the noise went up a notch with a local winner. You know, and I think some of the crowd was probably diluted a little bit by that weather pattern that we talked about at the top there, Fred. You know, it's hard to be motivated to take a family to the races when there's so much lightning and heavy rain like that. But, you know, it was a healthy crowd, and it grew as the closer we got to the big race. The noise certainly went up a notch when Amanda won that race. Like, and Amanda, it's been a few days now. Like, and I asked you about Windy Hill Tara winning the Oaks, now a Group 1 winner on your home track. How do you compare the two, and has potentially this one superseded it in your estimations of the great wins in your career?
Yeah, this one probably had more pressure on just because he had the good draw and sort of was in the market, where Windy Hill Tara was just a bit of an underdog and come out and won, and it was good that Dad was there as well. So yeah, they've both been very special wins, so can't really compare them.
It was almost a very, very rare double, Amanda, because you were beaten a slender margin, about a half length in the Tiara final. You've already won a Tiara, of course, but you were looking to, potentially the Tiara Crown double. Now, Rick Altrin was in the box seat to do that after the Tiara, but quite incredible that you were so close to the rarest of doubles at Bathurst. Again, was there any notion, did you ever consider handing up when you found a pretty soft lead with Chart Topper?
Well, yeah, he probably is a bit better with us yet, but then when the main dangers all drew out the back, thought, we're better off just trying to hold the front and keep them behind us. And it sort of crossed our mind, but we did just we just didn't know. And then when he did get the soft lead, then probably worked out more in his favour to hold the front anyway. So
that money quarter was probably that 31 1-second split. The pressure came initially from Rick around the outside, but then he sort of backed away and you were able to get a 31-1. You think that was probably the telling factor in that race? You were able to pinch a cheapie?
And had his head down on his chest and looked at the cameraman even after the bell. So he just was just chilled out and and then he travelled really good down the back straight and around the turn. So yeah, that breather definitely helped.
Amanda, did you go into that race thinking I've got a a really legitimate show at winning this race? Because I know a lot of talk was around Timmy Richter, a lot of talk was around Ricky, and probably that talk even went up a notch after he won the previous race and that double was on the line. Did you go in thinking, I've got a red hot crack at winning this race?
Yeah, just with the draw and where the other ones drew, like it was going to always be hard for them. Where I was lucky enough to get the run that I needed, and so going into it, I was pretty confident with him, like the horse himself. Just needed the luck.
Isn't that interesting, Fred? That all the talk was around Ricky just missing the double. But Amanda got closer.
She got close.
She got closer to doing the double than Ricky did.
Real close.
Yeah.
Amanda got within half a length of actually pulling off the rear double, and another few strides in the fillies race, and I believe may well have produced that for Amanda.
Yeah.
But I think I'm pretty sure, and I don't really want to put words in Amanda's mouth, but I think she'll gladly take the crown anyway, and not be so bothered by the fact that she missed out in the previous race, because it's a pretty rare feat to win a gold crown. And we talked about it last week. People that go to the sales, their aspirations of being able to even get a 2-year-old or get a yearling to get transition to the races, let alone qualify for a Group 1 race. So lots of hopes and dreams. Some were realised on Saturday, some weren't. But Amanda's definitely was with the win with Chart Topper. For the people she just mentioned at the top of the interview, the Clues family, great supporters along the way, Amanda.
Yeah, that's it. They've been with us for a long time and spend a lot of money. So yeah, it's good to reward people like that really enjoy it and happy to come along.
I think you should get a gold crown. If you win it, you should actually get a gold crown as the driver. And Amanda should be talking to us right now with a gold crown on her head. I'm not actually. We can't see you, so you probably are, eh?
I think I did see some a few balloon crowns on kids in photos.
Yeah, people were making gold crowns.
Hey, I'll tell you what. If you think there's glamour in winning a Group 1, so a little straight after the race meet. So because of that delay, we were quite late, weren't we, Fred? And it was sort of just after midnight. I went in for a quiet lemonade and Amanda, there's your brother Josh, and he'd had one more lemonade than me, I think, by the time I got in there. And Nathan came in, and obviously is the trainer of the horse. And I said, well, where's Amanda? And they said, oh, she'll be back. She'll be looking after the horses and getting them all. So if you think there's glamour in celebrating a Group 1, and then you spoke to Amanda the next day pretty early in the piece, Fred.
Yeah,
so
we got Amanda up nice and
straight
early.
Back to the grindstone for you people, Turnbull.
Yeah, that's it. I actually went back in and missed lockout, so I had to talk my way into the pub. But
just say, don't you know who I am?
I actually told him the truth and said I've been putting the horses away, and they believed me and let me in. Thank God.
Oh, that's brilliant. I think you deserve that one. So, hey, well done. I think you really deserve the moment to sit back and absorb the accolades that go with winning a gold crown, because it is one of the premier events on our calendar. You described it last week, Fred, as it's like our golden slipper.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, isn't it? It's for the gun 2-year-olds in this country.
Early
and you
season,
and you beat some rock stars on the track there that night, Amanda, on Saturday night. So congratulations. We're really happy for you.
Thank you.
All right. For that. Good on you.
Cheers. Thanks, Amanda.
Hey, guys, it was a cracking night of racing. We talked about Ricky Alchin. That drive on Lux Eterna to win the Gold Tiara was A+ if we were marking it.
He won my drive of the night.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Yeah, he won. They for those that mightn't be familiar, Bathurst put on a race caller choose drive of the night, and I think the said driver picks up a voucher for a meal or something. Anyway, it's something that they've done for years and years and years. And for me, I was in no doubt. It was Rick's drive on Lux Eterna. Drew inside second row, got to the outside, saw there was no speed, whipped around, took them on, got the lead, and then had to get very vigorous up the straight to get a very, very good filly home.
He had to do it, didn't he?
She is potentially, and you can't go too silly when they're 2-year-olds that only start number 4, but she has got so much potential, Lux Eterna. I really see her transitioning, into her next age group. I know she's still got plenty of racing as a 2-year-old, but I think she's just going to get better and better and stronger and stronger. And Rick's such a good manager of these young horses.
We had him on the show last week, and we just and he said, "Look, I know I've got a good horse, but the draw's not kind. I'm going to have to be a bit cute here." And it was his aggressiveness and the tactics that I think allowed him to be in a position to win the race. I mean, he's got to have the horse underneath him to do it, but it was the tactics initially. So it wasn't just horse that won the race, it was driver intent and driver skill on that one, wasn't it?
Without a doubt, he took luck out of the equation there, didn't he? He really injected her into the race, and it was a tough drive that paid off. But like you said, Fred, she is an absolutely classy filly, and Ricky and his team, they're so good at managing juveniles that I have no doubt she's going to go on to much bigger things throughout the season.
I think we said last week it'll need some Rick Alchin magic. She got that, and she did the rest. Like, as I said, I don't want to underestimate and take away from her, Luxa Turner, but gee, the drive was special.
Yeah, well, so was the drive on, I believe, from Amanda to run second. But well done, Michael Formosa too. To qualify a horse that's come out of Newcastle, do those long miles that he put in, and to finish third in a Group 1 with Forever Skyfall. Really well done to Michael Formosa.
And just harking quickly back to the Crown, Greg Fleming, who trains Moreland Boy, third at 150 to 1.
Yeah.
It absolutely stormed home. It charged home at 150 to 1. Look, Greg doesn't have a lot of horses at all. He's managed to his career stats show he's got an 11% win rate. I don't know how many horses Greg has in work at the moment, but by jingoes, Moreland Boy, he's going to have some fun with that.
Yeah, well, and 2 Turnbulls in the trifecta.
Yeah,
in the biggest race on their calendar. Yeah, just made sense.
Just another
doesn't it?
Bathurst meeting.
Well, speaking of, the second Turnbull was Nathan, so he was on Moreland Boy. Oh, he had a tomato sauce odds go around in the chalice. It better be the best, and he wasn't on good behaviour initially for him. Oh, geez, I felt for him. It was deja vu of what happened out here in the Breeders' Challenge final. Nathan had to really burn some tickets early to get the horse in a position to be able to challenge for the race, and then obviously didn't have the energy left when it mattered most.
Yeah, that's right. Disappointing for Nathan.
He was gutted. He was gutted.
And understandably so, but like we said, we've seen him do it before in that main series. He'll bounce back.
Of course.
He'll still be in those big races come further on in the season, but taking nothing away from the winner there, he was ultra impressive. And well done to James Rattray. I heard him say that he had to take him down to Goulburn to really just get him accustomised to racing, and it's paid dividends for him.
Really matured, this horse, Bainbridge. He's got a bit of X factor about him. And what about Abby Sanderson, Catalpa Rescue for Shane? It ran a really good race, and Abby, she drove, of course, in the Derby here at Group 1, so she's starting to get a few little group drives on the back of Catalpa Rescue's good form, and she picked up the second check, so well done. And Wayne Dimmock, who had a winner yesterday at Bankstown. Wayne ran third with his very good horse, Naturally Gifted, and as Paul said, better be the best. Just wasn't to be.
Oh, yeah, it's a horse that means so much to Nathan and the whole family, and you just feel like he would have just been going, mate, what are you doing to me?
Yeah.
And then he tried his best to make amends quickly, and he had to think on the fly. Obviously, he's got, a minute 50 or so to try and resurrect a campaign. Yeah, I just felt for him. But the good thing is that's a horse, and that's a stable that's shown that they can quickly turn those things around. So, that's racing, isn't it?
They know the highs, they know the lows,
Yeah.
and they know the highs again.
Yeah.
And again, they'll know the lows. That's just racing. We all go through it in racing. We go through it in life. But no, Nathan will have that horse back.
Yep.
And it was just a shame because I guess akin to what we just discussed with Amanda about her feelings of winning a Group 1 on a home track, it would have been equally as important for Nathan to have achieved that.
Yeah, you get that sense, don't you?
Especially given that horse was purchased out of the Gold Crown. Yearling sale, it just had all the fairy tale behind it.
And I think that amplified the disappointment. Yes. That he couldn't, we've seen this horse go and deliver on here at headquarters, which obviously means so much to them to be able to do it here, but to be able to do it in your backyard, you get one go at it.
I should correct myself. I said chance to win a Group 1. Of course, the Chalice was a Group 2 this year.
Yeah. Speaking of Group 2s, the Gold Bracelet, mate. How good was that stoush, Major Delight versus Jewel Melody? But, Major Delight. She probably just said almost that heat performance, which had a lot of merit to it. Just got beaten by a very good performance by Windy Hill Tara and Amanda Turnbull on the day, it probably, punters who were believers probably said, thank you very much, I'll just take the extra value that comes with
We said it last week.
$2.40.
Yeah, we said it last week. You can't write. She was
got
first
hit
up.
late because it was 280 with about a minute to go. Obviously got hit late, by the punters. But she's outstanding. And that battle with Jewel Melody, like that would have been another grandstand moment if Bernie had been able to get Jewel Melody across the line, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course, Bernie being a local there. But on Major Delight, I know that Amanda Rando had said in the Sky Active coverage that I think her mum had gone on to win the bracelet as well. So emulating her dam there, which is a very special achievement.
She was a great mare, wasn't she?
Yeah, wasn't she? Well, I think we kept running
Oaks,
second to her.
You kept bumping into
we managed to beat her once, but taking nothing away from the winner there.
Were you in the Oaks final against her here?
No, I think Breeders' Challenge and
Breeders'
Size
Challenge,
Stakes back then. I think we might have beaten her in one Breeders' Challenge heat.
Right. Yeah.
But
So, I mean, if you look at it, we had a local in Amanda win the Gold Crown. We had Amanda come second and in the Gold Tiara. We had Better Be the Best fourth, which has got a lot of merit to it in itself, in the Gold Chalice. And Bernie almost won the Gold Bracelet. It was a great night and almost an amazing night for local stables on the biggest night of Bathurst program. So well done to the club. Well done to everyone involved in getting that race meeting up and going. As we said at the top, the weather was just almost like a sense of inevitability that we got hit with a weather pattern on a big race night, particularly when we had Sky Racing Active coverage going around. It seems to happen a lot. So well done to everyone, but well done to the club on not just that night, but they had a lot of racing commitments over a period of time. 3 nights of qualifying to have their race schedule going. That's a big commitment. I could see some weary eyes of Marianne Donnelly and Danny Dwyer and other people in and around the club who rolled their sleeves up and worked tirelessly. So well done to the club and everyone who got involved. We've just had the lights go out on us here, Jess.
Bit of a power surge.
Fortunately, we've got our studio lights, but yeah, if you're on the live stream, you've seen that. That's what's happened. So, hey, the Bathurst Mare Cup, we'll just quickly reflect on that. Sicario was outstanding. Gee, I thought Cam had left it a little too late there, Freddie.
Yeah, no, he I'm not going to challenge Cam and question his driving prowess. He knew exactly what he was doing and he knew exactly where the finish line was. That's 3 in a row for this horse. And, geez, how do you beat the Grimson Hart combination at the moment? Like, I think the last 2 Metro meetings here, they've annexed to treble on both nights. They won that feature race. And that's a good horses race, Paul. That race... Smooth Satin, the mighty Smooth Satin, won that race 4 times.
Yeah,
the Bathurst Mares Cup. So it's not a race for walkers. And Sicario beat a pretty handy field. Absolutely.
Well, we talk about local success. Bernie Hewitt was second in that, and Izzy Ross with Old Luke it was so gallant. Thought that might have been one of those fairy tale results for Isabel there with Old Luke getting the cash. Looked on the cards there, didn't it? So
yeah. She's getting so much confidence at the moment, Isabel. She really is going to be a driver to watch and a must in fantasy harness racing.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so that Grimson Hart combination that you mentioned, treble at Menangle on Friday night. Firefox went 150.5, which was just low flying. Beat Spirit of St. Louis and Jimmy Lock. We finally got the Jimmy Lock driver, Jimmy Lock thing that we have pushed so hard for and campaigned for on this podcast. Unfortunately, was at the back of the field in that one.
Jimmy Lock, the horse, was named after Jimmy Lock, the driver's grandfather, who was also James Lock. And the story goes, it's been related to me, is that champion trainer-driver David Aiken was best mates or really close mates with James Lock Sr., the grandfather, and named the horse Jimmy Lock after him.
Wow.
Wonderful.
And there's the synergy there with and Matt Lepard, who I think is doing really well in fantasy harness racing. I saw.
Yes,
Matt's a part owner of Jimmy Lock, Jimmy Lock the horse, and he actually texted me last Tuesday to say, "Guess what? We've made it happen."
Yeah,
James Lock, Jimmy's going to. So great story in itself.
The power of the sprint lane, hey?
There
We've managed to make it happen.
For the people,
well done,
with
guys.
the people, for the people.
Well done, guys. Well, look, James Lock had a pretty good week regardless. He won with Mike Cortell for Stephen Lee at Menangle on that card. So now, is that his first Metro winner? That's what we've been saying, isn't
That's
it?
correct. It was his first Metropolitan driving win, and very special. I know his mum, Kristen. I don't think there was anyone more excited or proud on course on Saturday night, so that was awesome to see.
Brilliant. So he did that. Jungle, so that was... he won the first at Menangle here last Tuesday with Jungle Eyes as well for Stephen Lee as well. So good little combination that's been formed there. Jimmy Douglas, he had a double at Menangle on Tuesday, won one yesterday at Bankstown. You two were both there.
Yep, both out on course. Fred was calling. Yeah, Jimmy's having a great run at the moment.
Yeah, not many meetings he drives at, Jess, where you don't see Jay Douglas in the winner's stall.
That's right, and a double here last Tuesday. And I thought Kenny said really knuckled down to the task at hand and was very impressive.
You had one going around, Jess. Still coming?
Still coming.
Highs and lows, we talk about it all the time.
Exactly right.
Yeah, all right. Speaking of Jimmy, he had a winner at Bathurst on Wednesday too, so he's been everywhere, man, and he's done well. Dougie Hewitt, treble at Bathurst on Wednesday. Travis, well done to those guys. Matty Roo, double at Young on Friday. Double for Brad Elder at Newcastle on Friday. Now, Tommy Ison had a treble there on that card. Brad Elder, what a week. He had 5 winners at Tamworth on Thursday. Pity wasn't. I know he's in your fantasy harness race.
He was.
No, he was. Well, that's a race card that wasn't part of the game. Imagine if you had him in your team. 5
When are we
winners.
going to get a Tamworth meeting
It
in
has
there?
to be included.
There you go.
This week.
Get your trades in.
And I'll tell you what, guys. Someone who's going to be involved in it is on the line with us. G'day, Jemma Coney.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me on.
You got Jess and Fred with you.
G'day,
Hi, Jemma.
I've put you in my team already, Jemma, so go your hardest.
And Jemma, I can tell you, he's not just saying that as lip service. I've seen it.
Oh, gosh. Okay, good luck.
No pressure, Jemma.
Is that something you do for all our guests? You put them in your team right before they come on the show, so you can butter them up.
Full disclosure, I knew Tamworth had. I saw the tweet. I saw Tamworth was part of. Plus, there's 2 hunters this week, effectively. So I knew I had to jiggle around with my hunter team and turf someone out from Metro, and Jemma made the cut. So again, no pressure, Jemma. Go your hardest.
Not feeling it at all.
Good on you. Hey, Jemma, belated happy birthday. You've just had your 21st, is that right?
Yeah, I did, the big 21.
Well done.
Nice
You had a nice little
Bali.
trip over to Bali. Hope you didn't pack a boogie board.
No, not into that sort of stuff. Just, some cocktails and, lots of shopping.
Nice trip. And you came straight back into some wonderful news. You've been selected to represent New South Wales in the Australian Female Drivers' Championships. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's really exciting. I wasn't expecting it. I had missed calls all come through when I landed in Australia. No one could contact me. But it was really great to be selected for that. There's heaps of lady drivers that are going great guns at the moment. So it was obviously a hard choice for the selectors.
Well, I think it's merit based and merit based on the performances that you have put together in over the last 12 months, and you've certainly been having a fantastic run of it. Doing so well there particularly on the Tamworth circuit, but we see you ply your trade right throughout the Hunter. Do you have plans to try and broaden the horizons in 2023, and we'll see you maybe appear here at headquarters at Menangle?
Oh yeah, I'd love to get around more, and especially even to Newcastle. I don't really get much of an opportunity down there, so I've got to work my way up. But I'd love to be getting more drives here and there, not just at Tamworth. So. But, it's a bit hard when, you've got to make it for yourself. But, definitely I'd really like to broaden my horizon more.
And this Saturday night, you'll make the trip up to Albion Park to represent your state in the Australian Drivers' Championship, or the Australian Drivers' Championship, sorry. How will it feel wearing the New South Wales colours?
Yeah, really good. It'll be really exciting to go out there against some of the best female drivers in the country, and especially alongside Amanda. I saw a little story the other day and it had a write-up about me and Amanda, and, it had her, all her credits on there, and then there was just me, and I was like, oh, wow, that's a big, a really big thing to be going with someone like Amanda.
Obviously, a great role model, Jemma, but just one thing I want to draw to your attention. I know the season's only 3 months old, but you're pretty much, your win-place ratio at the moment is 1 in 3 drives are at least earning checks. Now, in a points-based situation such as these championships that you're heading to, that's pretty important that you get the best out of each drive regardless of the price.
Yeah, for sure. It's obviously, you need a lot of luck on the night, especially when it's drawn randomly on random horses, but I think I've got everything going for me. I've got a few good barriers, and I don't think I actually have one bad barrier. So, hopefully that little bit of success in the last few months can continue on Saturday night.
Have you ever driven there before, Jemma?
Yeah, I have.
Yep.
I drove on Saturday night there, and a few times before that as well.
Right, gotcha.
That's an elite field of outstanding female drivers that are going to go around in that. You had a look at the field, Jemma, and you must be pretty confident you can take all these interstaters down, hey?
Yeah, no, I've had a little look at the fields. I didn't come out till late last night, so I haven't dug too deep into them. But I can't see why I can't run a few placings. Hopefully can land a winner, maybe.
Now, Tamworth, Freddie's got you in your team. What is it about that Tamworth track that you and Tom Ison and Brad Elder just say, don't even bother turning up everyone else because we dominate here? What is it about that track that you three in particular just go so well at it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot of luck, I guess. It's a home track. I drive there every week. And, I'd say that, I drive there the best rather than when I go somewhere else and drive. I just feel more confident. And, I know, the other drivers around me and that. So I think that's a big thing, just knowing, it's your home track and that's probably where you have the advantage. But no, we have a lot of luck at Tamworth, especially that I have a lot of support from my dad. So, having all his horses there each week gives me a good go.
Jemma, we often talk on this podcast about, the mini trots and the importance and how it's put so many of our top young drivers in good stead when they transition from the minis to the real McCoy. You had a very distinguished mini trots career yourself. Yeah, for sure. I was so lucky. I had a really good little pony that, he took me down to Melbourne for the Inter-Dominion when it was down there. And I got selected to go over to New Zealand for the kids' carts, like a Rising Stars series sort of thing. And, that was really good. Like going to another country to drive was just amazing. I don't remember much of it now. I was quite young. But, it was really good just to be there in another country representing my state. So I guess that sort of feeling will be the same on Saturday night. What does it kind of teach the young, horse boys and horse girls, the kids coming through? What being involved in mini trots does it teach them that then puts them in good stead when they step up? Is it just the understanding of the animal? Yeah, I guess it probably just gives you the understanding of the animal, and it gives you a sense of sportsmanship and to make friends within the sport as well. Like I've got friends now that I've been friends with since mini trots, and I'll be forever friends with them. It was just such a good stepping stone for making my way up to the big ones. And that relationship with your dad, Jemma, it must be kind of cool to you talked about you get good drives based on what he's training, but it must be really great for your relationship. I know he's so proud of you. I hear from him a bit with your achievements. Must be. How's the dynamic? Yeah, look, when it's early in the morning and we're working horses together, it might be a different story. We'll get a little bit tired and cranky, but once he steps out onto the track, he's probably my biggest supporter along with my pop. They're just so, he often quite tells me, to my little brother, you better be as good as your sister. So he's my biggest supporter, and he's obviously so happy for me, and I wouldn't be where I am without him. And he does all the work for me, and obviously has the amount of horses that we do all for me just to get the best out of my drives that I can. All right, Jemma, well, we wish you the best of luck at Albion Park in the Australian Female Drivers' Championship. Between you and Amanda, I reckon we're in pretty good hands in the New South Wales colours. So congratulations on your selection and best of luck at that event. Do us proud. Thank you. Hopefully I can do the state proud. Good on you, Jemma. Good on you,
Gemma.
All right. She's a ripper, isn't she? Oh, just
Awesome.
Talented. She's a good talker. She presents herself well, conducts herself well, and go well on Thursday as well, Jemma.
Yes, Tamworth Fantasy, then into Saturday for the championship.
Absolutely.
All right, Jess is now, Freddie.
Oh, no.
Jess doesn't know that song, but she's going to Rod Stewart, who is several vintages several vintages beyond.
I think my
Boom Crash
parents used
Opera.
to listen to.
She knows Rod Stewart, but she doesn't know Boom Crash Opera. The
And
best
you know
thing.
who her favourite actor is?
No, here we go.
Her
Review.
favourite actor.
Gene Kelly
my
or something
No,
like
the
that.
mustachioed man from Magnum PI.
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck. You love Tom Selleck.
I do
And you
love
love
Tom
Rod
Selleck.
Stewart.
Yeah, there
You're
you
going
go.
backstage to see Rod? Or
I wish.
Have you been Googling? You've been Googling things that old people
things
like.
that old people like Fred and Paul will know.
So you can
Just
be
so
on
I
our
can be
wave.
able
Just
to
so you can
hold a
banter with us. Yeah,
conversation
yeah,
with
yeah.
you guys.
I have to look at your search
There we
engine.
go.
Yeah. What do fossils know?
We're Fred
So
and
I
was
can be
Fred
on the
calling
same
the dinosaur
conversation.
races back.
Yeah, yeah. All right. What's the best thing you saw this week, Jess?
Yeah, during Miracle Mile weekend at the yearling sales, I met one of the most passionate and enthusiastic 14-year-olds in harness racing, Ollie Arends. And last Tuesday night at Junee, his horse, Brent's Hope, trained by his dad, Ross, was able to score. So I'm tipping there wouldn't have been a bigger smile in the Riverina than that of Ollie. So congratulations to Ross and Ollie on a great win.
Outstanding. Freddie?
Look, I know we had Amanda on the show, but for me, it was seeing Amanda realise that dream of winning the Group 1 on her home track. This is a lady who's heading towards 2,400 driving wins, heading towards 1,000 training wins. She's only in her 30s, early 30s, I might point out, and has just got the best years ahead of her. So to see her win that Group 1, kind of get the monkey off the back. I know she won a tiara, but let's face it, it's the Gold Crown Carnival. She won the namesake, the Gold Crown, and I was really thrilled for her.
Absolutely. All right, fancy harness racing. We've touched on it a little bit, guys. If you're on the live stream, 12:30 is your lockout because we've got a race at 12:48 today. How's your team going, guys?
Fred, how's yours going?
I'm still in the top 100, so it's something. I'm a 97 for me. So I'm happy with that, and I'm hoping to improve. And like I said at week 3, it's like a Melbourne Cup, this game. So I want to
Yep.
be
I'm
sort of
ready
in
to make my
striking
run.
distance. I'm heading past Chiquita Lodge at Flemington now. I'm about to come down the side of the track with 600 to go. When I get to the clock tower, I hope I'm in striking distance of the boys that are in front.
And I've jumped on Fred's back for cover,
Car
and I'm
home.
ready to
Look out, we're
peel
making
out.
our
Look
run.
out.
Yeah, it's great. I had when I sort of went into the clubhouse at Bathurst after the race, many people were hollering out, "Oh, the commissioner," and wanted to talk about fantasy harness racing, which is cool. A little housekeeping. Apologies to people who felt a little bit aggrieved by what was a technical glitch at the developer's end over the past. Well, it's fixed as of last night, but the scoring system didn't want to play ball with us on Sunday and a big chunk on Monday. So apologies. And you would have got an email telling you got 0 points. That's not the case. It's just basically that the data wasn't getting pulled correctly. So it's all fixed now.
Yeah.
So, round 12, it's 25 rounds. So we're pretty much just about at the halfway stage.
Yeah, halfway. So get your
So-
trades in. But 96 I am. I
Yep.
just had a
So
look.
we've got
That's good.
obviously a good week ahead of us. We've got Tamworth in play. Next week we've got Penrith back in play. So which we're mixing it up a bit here.
Yeah. Carnival of Cups meeting.
Carnival of Cups
there'll
with
be
Renshaw Cup.
the
So the
extra
double
points.
points, and then obviously we've got Wagga as well with triple points up for grabs on some of those races in the Riverina Championships. So
Thorny,
the
if you're
variables
listening,
keep coming at you.
Heaven on high, Renshaw Cup.
Oh, is
Oh,
that
there we go. Getting in early.
likely nom?
Possible.
Yeah, nice.
He ran third in the autumn gift the other night and made plenty of ground. Probably got one pair back than Jack would have liked. Jack told me that, but horse grinded home okay. Ran good times. The back half was pretty solid. Back quarter was really quick. So yeah, hopefully we might get a crack, and with the draw, might get a decent draw with the
Wonderful.
grading if he gets a run. But and that's still to be decided. I'm probably speaking out of school. Thorny, tell me to shut up. But he might go down that path.
Yeah. Oh, well, good luck.
Exciting.
We'll be
Very
there.
exciting
So,
time on
yeah, look forward to.
Classic.
Oh, it's a race. I used to go as a boy and watch the Renshaw Cup and see some great horses race in the Renshaw Cup. So
Have a horse in it
to
that's
have a horse
good.
in it and then be calling it,
Yeah.
it's all the dreams come true. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
No, that's great, mate. Great. Just Wednesday, we've got Tamworth Thursday, Wagga and Newcastle on Friday. We've got Menangle on Saturday, as we said. So I've got others written here. We've got Albury tonight. We've got Tamworth and Penrith Thursday. So I'm reading off the wrong sheet here, guys. So Albury tonight, Bathurst Wednesday, Tamworth and Penrith on Thursday. We've got Wagga, Newcastle and Parks on Friday. We've got Broken Hill Saturday. Narrabri on Sunday because it's carnival time for them. We've got Goulburn on Monday. So lots of racing, 9 races this afternoon at Menangle.
Yeah.
Good card.
Nice card, that's for sure. And just want to touch on Saturday night, another time-honoured classic. We have the Golden Easter Egg. So
Fairfield race.
Correct.
Yeah.
Originally run at Fairfield and be here this Saturday night. And Jewel Melody set to go around peaceful again. The draws are reversed
Barrier
this
1
time.
for Jewel Melody.
So, Sky Blue as well. We just talked about the Thorn stable there.
She looks the other day.
Very impressive the other day.
No, looks good. So that obviously good racing Saturday night. So it's a big week of racing and good to see some new regional communities getting their chance to put on some race meets as well. Like I know Narrabri always put on a great race meet. It really galvanises the community and brings everyone together. So they've got their Carnival of Cups coming up. So yeah, that should be fantastic. All right, something to keep an eye out for. What are we steering us into, Jess?
Yeah, back to Junee last Tuesday night. Feel Good Ray from the Jason Turner stable. Thought it hit the line strongly when it could not get a run at all. So I'll be keeping an eye on Feel Good Ray.
Okay. How did last week's go?
Hasn't gone around yet, so I'm technically still a winner.
Okay, fair enough.
Mine from last week or the week before, I've lost track, went third at Bankstown Clements last night in the last race. Paul, I think there was probably some very impressive wins at Bathurst on Saturday, but none more than Sarah to Sloy.
Oh, yeah, wasn't that good?
Galloped in the early stages. Chris had to go into the infield. He was able to rejoin, ended up 4 pegs, got her to the extreme outside, and she came home. She's got a motor, Sarah Tusloy, and she will be winning plenty of races. Keep an eye on her. You may not get the $4 odd or whatever it was that she was the other night, because I think everyone would have seen the flashing light when she charged home, but she is a very talented
She was
filly.
impressive, wasn't she?
Super impressive.
Hey, and on that, how good is it when luck and you need to get in early with some horses and establish a connection? Well, he has established a connection with that horse. Let's hope that's a journey that Chris can go on with Sarah Tesloy, because that's a promising horse, and hopefully, and Chris is such a good driver, and hopefully that luck has found him.
He's a good guy, Chris, and he deserves his opportunities, and I was really thrilled for him. And you're right. I learned something really interesting about Chris that I didn't know. We had a conversation at Penrith recently. He was a very, very prodigious talent when it came to rugby league, very talented. And he was coming through the Penrith junior system, and he was earmarked potentially to be the halfback for the Harold Matthews team of that year, which I think is under 16s, Harold Matthews.
Yep.
Yeah, Blake, you might have heard of him. He goes a bit okay for the rugby league fans, called Nathan Cleary, got the spot ahead of him. It was a bit of a 2-horse race, and Cleary got... So we could have lost Chris to rugby league if not for Nathan Cleary getting ahead of him. But thank goodness we got Chris in our great sport.
Yeah, okay. Well, he didn't let us know that when he said
there you go. No, well, I didn't know. We had a conversation because when I saw him, Penrith were playing behind us. They were playing... who were they playing? Manly, was it? Anyway, they played the Penrith on a Thursday night, and I was talking to Chris, and he told me the story. But he was a very talented footballer, I'm told, and was going to dabble with a bit of A grade when he stayed in Queensland for a spell up there last year. He was going to make a comeback, and he might even play the odd bit of park footy going forward this year. But yeah, he was pipped to the post for a representative junior spot by Nathan Cleary.
I'll get him at the Eels. I'm not going too well.
Funnily
I'll tell you who need him, the Tigers. But anyway.
He drove my horse yesterday, and he's obviously a Penrith fan. I'm a Para fan, and I said, just drive him like King Gutho. But
are they trying to get rid of him?
No, we better not go there.
Maybe we should, like Dougie Hewitt's he played that. Maybe we put together the team. We have Chris and Dougie Hewitt in the halves.
Captain coach, didn't he, Dougie? And I know Ashley Grives, her brother Harry played, I think, for Penrith.
Right.
You've got famous harness racing name up in Queensland, the Turpins. Jake Turpin's hooking for the Roosters. You could get a rugby league team, no dramas at all. Get a squad. You on the wing?
Yeah, I don't know where will we put.
I'll be the water boy.
Young Jack Callaghan and Cameron Hart and that. I fear for those boys.
Cameron's a good footballer too. He's another one. He was very talented, a very, very good goal kicker.
Right.
And I know this firsthand through talking to Cam and to his dad, Mark. He was down in the Riverina, a very, very good rugby league player, goal kicker. And I remember I had a conversation with him when the Roosters missed a vital goal kick to win a game, and he said, I would have got it. Cam said to me, I would have got... No, really? Flies on Cam. And Cam is one of the most unassuming blokes.
He is.
Right? But he actually said, I don't know how he missed it. I would have kicked it.
Well, anyone on the live, David Wanson's right behind us there too. And
another...
I like it. If you're tuning in, thanks for your time on the podcast today. Make sure you tell everyone about us. Let them know that the Sprint Lane exists, and let's spread the good word of harness racing. We will be back on the live show again next week, and we will see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.